My name is Greg Polk. I'm glad about the turnout.
And this is Rivera's son speaking to you from Taos, New Mexico, and I want to welcome you to the Albuquerque Center for Peace and Justice's 38th annual Holiday Gala. We're honoring 3 of our long-term and stellar volunteers who have worked tirelessly to advance the mission of the Peace and Justice Center. This year, we want to honor Maureen Wright, Judith Kidd, and Molly Wilkie. Today, we're going to feature 10 musical acts, 2 poets, and the words of incarcerated activist Mumia Abu Jamal. We are starting off with a couple of bands you might recognize from previous gala celebrations, Los Otros and Eileen and the In-Betweens. Ending our show will be Medicine Drum Circle. So kick back, relax, enjoy the music and poetry and words, and don't forget to donate in support of the Albuquerque Center for Peace and Justice. Thank you.
My name is Greg Polk. I'm glad about the turnout. Very pleased by the number of people, the diversity of people, the age diversity. It really shows that people are enthusiastic about this International Day of Peace and this opportunity to come together to reinforce those messages of peace and human rights.
I'm Maureen Wright, and I'm a volunteer at the Peace and Justice Center. And I was very happy to see the turnout today. And I'm anxious to see the pictures because I think it's going to be good. Yes. So, thank you for being here. And I think that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Hello there, my name is Eileen Shaughnessy. I play with the band Eileen and the In-Betweens, and I'm a teacher and an organizer. And I'm really happy to be here today celebrating the International Day of Peace at the Albuquerque Center for Peace and Justice today.
Hi, my name is Reina Davis, and I'm a poet and a student at UNM. I'm super grateful to be here for the International Day of Peace, and I'm grateful for the work that the Peace and Justice Center and our community does for each other, so thank you.
Hi, I'm Tanya Covington. I'm the president of the board of the Albuquerque Center for Peace and Justice, and I'd like to welcome you here today. We're at our 38th annual gala for the Peace and Justice Center, and our theme this year is evolution. And that's because the Peace Center is evolving into a place that's more diverse, that's more user-friendly, and that's going to be more involved in the community. One of the things that we're doing is we're helping people out with housing and rental assistance, and we're a center for restorative justice and mediation. So we hope that you will enjoy this. We hope that you will donate. We really need your donations in order to move our into what we plan to do in the future. And here's our executive director, Jim Harvey.
Thank you, Tanya. Thank you so much. And welcome to the 38th anniversary gala of the Albuquerque Center for Peace and Justice. And as Tanya mentioned, our theme this year is evolution. And yes, it shows that the center, after 38 years, continues to evolve. And in our process of evolving, we are moving towards becoming more of a direct service provider, while at the same time not losing sight of the things that made us come into existence in the first place 38 years ago. So we're looking forward to your participation and your support, and you can keep the Peace and Justice Center going, keep the Peace and Justice Center on this trajectory that we're on right now, which we're all excited about here, by making donations. You can make a donation by going to our website. You can make a donation by mailing in a check. You can make a donation by using our QR code, which you're gonna see later on in this program. Above all, we want you to enjoy this 38th anniversary gala celebration and spread the word, because it's gonna be on YouTube. And being on YouTube means that you can share it with anybody and encourage your friends, neighbors, and colleagues to do it as well. Bottom line, send money so you can keep us going. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Tom Dent, director of our TV show and treasurer of the board of the Peace Center. And with me tonight are three honorees, Maureen Wright, Judith Kidd, and Molly Wilkie.
Hello.
And I'll let them introduce themselves, and we'll have a little fun with them.
Okay,
Thank you, Tom.
you go, you go.
I just want to say, the first time I remember seeing you, Judith, you were working on the finances, I think. You were doing something.
Treasurer, okay.
Yeah, and Molly, I don't even remember when we met first, but you've done so much. I just can't believe how much you've done to
Thank you. Appreciate
keep
that.
the Saturday morning giveaway.
Food distribution, yes.
So when did you start that?
Let's see, that food, well, before that, I was involved in the Peace Cafe, and I was a volunteer coordinator, and I've done many things, but the food distribution has been going on, actually, I think for 4 or 5 years, and it's going very well. And it's turned into not just a food distribution, but actually, it's a social event.
Sure.
People come, get in line to get their food, and they talk, and then we give them coffee, and it's turned into a very nice, positive event for the Peace Center, with a lot of good energy from a lot of people. So it's a community thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's great.
That is so great.
It's been, we've had a lot of support from Jim.
Good old Jim.
Yeah, we appreciate him so much. So that's that.
Yeah. Well, before the food distribution, I remember there was a group called Food Not Bombs that took food out, and then
Oh, yeah.
yeah, and then I think they ran into some difficulties with authorities because they didn't want people to be gathering to get it. So I don't know what happened to that, but it sort of melted away, and then the food distribution was a much better solution
It
to
was.
that.
We also had the Peace Cafe
Yes,
for
that's right.
years.
I remember that too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that, that's like everything else. It came along. We had a good stint, and then it changed because things change and things have to change. But that was nice too. And now there's a group starting up another Peace Cafe, which is amazing. And what I love about it is it's the young people, relatively, and it's like there they are, and I'm like, okay. Here's the torch. Thank you very much.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right.
And actually, my grandson is one of the founders of that, so I'm very proud of him for that.
Yes,
That's wonderful.
yes, that's great.
But you have done so much with your contributions to the center.
In many ways, Maureen has made many contributions. her time, her energy, so financial, and suggestions, support, all kinds of good things.
Yes.
Yeah, well, I was on, we called it the admin committee. I have no idea why that was named that, but at any rate,
Administrative.
yes, but at any rate, we didn't administrate anything except trying to keep the building together. And we had a lot of cracks and breaks on this wall over here. This wall had been actually insulation was put so that it wouldn't be so cold. But over here, this kept breaking down. And finally, after 2 years, we got a company that said they'd come and help us. And it took 2 years to get final money to do it. So, at any rate, I was really happy to see that we had a nice, smooth wall, so that when Jim came and got the ladies, the portraits on the wall, we had a good, decent wall for that.
Oh, that wall outside you're talking about.
Yeah.
And Judith, you've been very involved for many years. You've been on the board, and you've been, tell
Lots
us,
of things, yeah.
tell us what else you've done.
My frog is with me today. I tried to leave him at home, but he stayed. But one of the things I wanted to mention that what I was involved in, and so was Maureen actually, was the dialogue group. Because aside from all the energy and to stop the bad stuff, what we wanted to do was create the avenue for good stuff and for people to get along. So we didn't have to fight and have wars, etc. And the dialogue was one of our early groups. We trained people, and it was started by Marshall Rosenberg. Am I right on that, Maureen?
Mm-hmm.
And
The NVC, nonviolent communication.
well, that's different. No, I thought when it was more dialogue, might have been, they're similar. So maybe somebody else started that. I can't remember. But anyway, it was similar. He was the founder of that, and he wrote a book about it. Was somebody who really taught people how to sort of hone down a conversation that's becoming hostile and angry, and trying to kind of look like if I'm talking to somebody who thinks very differently from me on any subject, and instead of getting into a battle about who's right, it's more like, let's look for the common. Let's talk about what we have in common. And it's amazing how you go up with somebody who's very different and just stay away from what causes you to be different and talk about, hey, we all have similar things that we care about. We care about our families. We care about our kids, our grandchildren, our, homes, saving our homes and stuff, etc. And strategies for that. And then it evolved into the nonviolent communication group. And that too has went on for quite a long time, and a lot of people would come to meetings and learn that process. Now it's kind of honed down to a smaller group, but we still meet twice a month, and on Fridays, and we now call it transformative communication, to try to transform what's hostile into something positive. So that's one of the things I'm really happy we were able to do. But involved with the Peace and Justice Center ever since it was started. I was kind of new in town in 1983, and when the founders opened a little office down on Silver, I was one of the first people to join up. I was political at the time, and this was perfect. And I had amazing influences from those early people, especially Dory Bunting, one of my great heroines, with her Quaker background and her way of dealing with people in a way that was loving and non-judgmental. She was great. And the other founders at that time, Blanche Fitzpatrick and Ken Zook, were early founders also. And then I just kind of stayed on and did a whole lot of things. I worked at the office, and I was involved when we moved from several different locations and finally came here in '93. I was on the board for many years. What else did I do? Let me think. I've done a lot of, was in the office doing, the office work. And as I said before, the groups that I really enjoy talking about, the nonviolent communication and the dialogue groups, which I think were so important. So for me, over the years, the Peace and Justice Center has been a core place. And at the time, when it started in the 80s, there were a lot of people around who were very active because the Vietnam War had happened, and it ended, maybe 10 years ago, but there was still that energy. So we had a lot of energy. A lot of people wanted to come into the Peace and Justice Center. Now it's more dormant. People are not as involved, and it's not as important for a lot of people to come. So I'm really glad it's still here and it's still thriving. And I so appreciate that Jim, our new, somewhat new director, is involved in helping us move more in a more multicultural and pro everyone direction, because I think unconsciously we were not giving the support to the Black community that we could have. And he's really made that a difference there. So I hope the Peace Center lasts for another 100 years. I think it's critical, and I really appreciate all the things that people are doing here.
Good, thanks.
Beneath the shivering stars, sky. It's wide open skies. It's wide open skies that I belong to. It's wide open skies. It's wide open skies that I belong to.
Hi and welcome. Thanks for tuning in to our Albuquerque Peace and Justice Center Gala. I'm Susie and I am the finance manager here. And you just heard Eileen and the In-Betweens performing Wide Open Skies. Next, you will be hearing the indie band Byland performing Albuquerque, followed by the Irish poet Bill Nevins.
Everybody's got that place, that town, that patch of ground where your roots are found, where you learn to dream and ride a bike. Everybody's got that place, and for me, it's Albuquerque. It's the land down south where the Harleys roar, over the Sandias air balloons soar. I won't forget the sound of the bell on Grove, or the taste of horchata down the road. My home may have changed, but part of me remains in the land that's still enchants my memories, my sins are still running through the veins of the land. I was washed by the waters of the Rio Grande, walking barefoot to the corner store. A group like us was hard to ignore. We paid the shopping carts no mind. Oh, the people of the roads taught us to be kind. No more is the church with no steeple, or the preacher that loved the broken people. No more is the church with no steeple, or the preacher that loved the broken people. But in the valley there's a storm. I go there when I feel my home may have changed, but part of me remains in the
I want to dedicate this reading to our dear friend Alan Cooper, who is resting up in the VA hospital right now. He's catching his second wind. Mira Masaya, querido camarada, seguimos adelante a través de la niebla fascista. Hasta la victoria siempre, mi comandante. First poem, Utah Phillips for the IWW. That soldier fighting mad, dead, drunk, in tatters from another awful war woke up in Amon's good school where he found peace, telling us his stories as we laughed, cried, cursed, and rose up out of our comfort zones, shouting, "Revolution! You gotta mess with people," he yelled, wheels turning, rails rattling, rebels wobbling. "You're either a worker or you're a boss, brother," he said as we drove down Albuquerque Central Avenue through Nob Hill towards the International War Zone. Don't let the bosses cut you off from your allies. Don't call them yuppies. They're workers too. And so I learned solidarity from Utah Phillips, who shared his Folk Alliance Conference hotel room with a half-dozen real hobos, happily bubbling mulligan stew with green chile, singing dreams of Joe Hill that night. In his Jimmy Hoffa work shirt, long white hair streaming free, smiling, telling stories, singing songs of freedom, as he did with Ani DeFranco, as he did on that New Mexico concert stage, as he did in your kitchen, as he did in that caboose in the Vermont woods, on the radio, on records, as he always did, as he always did. Dump the bosses off your backs, one mighty union soon come. Yeah, Utah Phillips was a friend of mine. He died out on the road. But if you look hard inside you, you'll see he's alive as you and me. Nobody weep, nobody mourn. Just organize and practice your song for that wild workers' party that we're going to throw to greet the coming red dawn.
Hi, my name is Molly Wilkie, and I have been with the Peace Center for well over 10 years. And I have to say I've done a little bit of everything. I've been a volunteer coordinator, I've been on the board, and now I'm very involved in this food distribution that we have on Saturdays that has been very successful, and we are very pleased with the way that's going and the way it's brought the community together. So I'm trying to think of all the wonderful things that have happened here and the progress I've seen in the Peace Center over the years and the changes and how we've adapted. The Peace Center has adapted to the needs of the day. And it seems like the needs of the day, of course, change. And now we're very proactive in a lot of things that are going on that we're all very distraught about. And I'm happy to see our energy go into positive things. And another thing I'm really happy about is we've been around, I'm here with Judith and Maureen, and we've been around for a while. They longer than me, but we've been around for a while. But now I see younger people coming in, and that's what we need, exactly what we need to grow and to contribute to things that are very important at this time, because we've got a lot of challenges. So I see these young people and I'm like, okay, thank you so much for being here. And I feel like I've done my part, and now I can kind of sit back and let them do the work and support them in any way I can. But I love the Peace Center and all it stands for, and I love the people here who work so hard, and I want to thank them for keeping the energy going. And that's about all I have to say. And thank you for letting me have this moment to share.
of mine. Someday you will die, but I'll be close behind. I'll follow you into the dark. No blinding light or tunnels to gates of white. Just our hands clasped so tight, waiting for the hint of a spark. If heaven and hell decide that they both are satisfied, illuminate the nose on their vacancy signs. If there's no one beside you when your soul embarks, then I'll follow you into the dark. Catholic school, as vicious as Roman rule. I got my knuckles bruised by a lady in black. I held my tongue, and then she told me, son, fear is the heart of love. So I never went back. If heaven and hell decide that they both are satisfied, illuminate the nose on their vacancy signs. If there's no one beside you when your soul embarks, then I'll follow you to the dark. You and me have seen everything to see, from Bangkok to Calgary, and the soles of your shoes are all worn down. The time for sleep is now. It's nothing to cry about, 'cause we'll hold each other soon in the blackest of rooms.
Teaming me up is a couple things I want you to understand. First off, you chose me, so you recognize the skills.
Yeah. Yeah. 2012 flow. 25 to life, baby.
LA and Mr. Music.
The places that we've been, you never seen them, yo. The places that we gone, ain't been explored. Internet explore, no Firefox. Google Chrome couldn't find out where we go without Great Scott. Crank it up to 88, let's go back to the past. Now the future's too great, man, it ain't ever late. I'm sorry for the wait, cause we bout to spaz. Chicago on the jazz, call LA Fresh Prince. You know I'm Jazzy Jeff, man, I'm Kobe on the beat. And you could call him Shaq, call Karma Uncle Phil Jackson. You ain't never heard me rap like that, son. Penitentiary flow to the maximum. Models all upon me, Maxim. Who the illest in the shop, man? Ask him. Stanley Ipkiss shoot with my mask on.
Yeah. I ain't Weezy or Gambeezy or Breezy, but I'm in my zone. I'm just E.T. coming home, and I don't need no cellular phone. Patiently waiting like M50 till they put me on. I know I got it, what this industry on? I'm insane in the cranium, bet your brain to be blown. If you put these headphones on and play me in your dome, I'ma have you feeling like a groundhog without a home. It's just a game of shadows, come and find me, we could battle. I swear I'm such an animal, eat these rappers like animals. Cause y'all, yo, Gary. And I am Joe Dirt. Long hair, don't care, I lead the way like I'm a chauffeur. And I don't smoke perp, I'm just high on life. No soaps, little mama, but I'm guiding light. I'm a lighthouse, these other rappers night lights. Call them Tinkerbell, or maybe Cinderella. Why they always gotta whine like they in the cellar? Y'all late, I'm on time, set your clocks better. Haters say the darndest things are a link letter. And my flow tight, like I shrink sweaters. Straight shot of Patron, now I think better.
Lots on my mind, trying not to lose it. Lots full of cars, buying them's the future. Slot machines, lotto tickets, life is a gamble. It's 50-50 chances, 2-door handles. Which you gon' open and which you gon' close. There's never been a better time, the decision is yours. A split second choice can change the course of history. Hope Father Time is on my side, Dad, I know you're listening. Guess what? Today it's my birthday, but I wanna live life every day like it's my birthday. And I want this music shit like in the worst way, so I'ma keep on grinding till it's my hearse day. Married to the music till death do us part. Yeah, I married myself cause love's super harsh. And the only thing that's worth fighting for is to reach the highest level. Grammy awards.
Waiting for the day I finally step up to the podium. They know I've been had flows like linoleum, but I'ma never be the one for you to step on. Used to be a nerd, but now I'm cool, call me Stephon. Put me in the booth, watch how I change up. We chase greatness forever, you never change us. Me and music got the Grammys in the same tux. Exact same one that Bruce Wayne gave us. Batman and Robin, dynamic duo. Put the cards away, homie, we ain't talking Uno. When the chips are down and friends ain't around, it's just me and my brother. All we got is each other and we bout to go ham. Lettuce and tomatoes, trying to build my future up. I ain't talking Play-Doh, and I ain't talking toys when I'm yelling Lego. Money, euros, pounds, pesos. All I know is it's really about time. We get paid like a baller, cause you know we dropping dimes. New music every Monday and it's fire every time. We ain't signed yet, bring the alarm, cause it's a crime.
Hello, I'm Maureen Wright, and I've been with the Peace Center since it was across the street in a different building, and I think we moved over here in 2003. And Avery, because I joined in the 90s, and at the time we're very concerned about the WHIP, which was the waste isolation plant in Carlsbad. And we felt that this was going to be bad for the New Mexico. Now, I worked hard with that. And then I was on the desk and stayed with the Peace Center by being on the desk, answering phone, and I can't remember the exact year, but I became part of a committee that was called the Administrative Committee, which was kind of a funny name for that because we were our job was to take care of the building and see that things were running right. So a lot of things did happen, just like any home, you have to maintain it. So we would often have these meetings and not always agree on how to solve the problem. But anyway, and then we had a big celebration for the 30th anniversary. And I remember being on that committee, and it was, I think, a big success. We had a lot of people. I know in my daily activities, I would say that I was working at the Peace Center and people did not know anything about it. And so it's been hard to get our little community out there and understood in the community. So I think that Jim and Tom have done a great job by having that little TV show, and so that people can know that is this community that wants to support peace. And so I'm really happy to see that changes that have come when Jim came and Tom became part of the official part, not just on committees, right? And Avery, because you did a lot, and I just feel that we have been a good support for a number of other committees and organizations. In fact, I don't know how many organizations we have that are associated with us, and we call them the Peace Organizations Joining Arms. And so I just think that that's a great thing, that we can offer that space and energy for other organizations that need to be brought forth. So this last 2 years has been a very difficult time with the shutdown, the COVID, everything. And but it just is, I'm very happy to see that we're still going. We have artists that show their wares on our walls, and that changes about every 1 or 2 months, and it's great to see that. And if people should come down and just walk through the Peace Hall and see what we've been doing and what has happened here. I think that we have had a slowing down of the membership because of all of the changes that took place in the last 2 years. And I think that's been kind of difficult. But having these meetings and with the gala, I'm hoping we can touch a few more hearts. So I hope you can join us. And thank you.
Ever wanted to do more for social justice and other major issues in Albuquerque, New Mexico? If so, then the Center for Peace and Justice is just for you. Devoted to bringing true-centered discussions about critical social justice issues in our state, globally, through various means and actions, we provide a positive attitude in everything we do. We offer incredible opportunities to those who want to join our team to learn important skills that are needed to run a nonprofit organization. Please be a member or volunteer, or have your group join us. There's space for everyone who's interested in what we do here at the Peace Center. For more information, call us at 505-268-9557. Go to our website at abqpeaceandjustice.org or email us at www.abqpeaceandjustice.org. Thank you.
And we're back. I'm Jim Harvey, Executive Director of the Albuquerque Center for Peace and Justice, and also, in case you missed it, the host of the center's TV show called That Saturday Show, which airs every Saturday morning on Comcast Cable, and then you can pick it up on YouTube. Catch a show. It's an award-winning show. It's been running for now 50 episodes, and I don't want you to miss any of them. You start looking at it, I can guarantee you, you'll be streaming for all of them.
A little something from Bill Withers. You just can't smile it away. It's much more than passion. Oh, it's love. I've heard some people say they've seen love move mountains. You just can't laugh it away. It's too deep inside, you feel it. Oh, it's love, not just some game you can play for a laugh and then go on your way. Can we just talk it over, work things out? I love you so. Can we just talk it over? See what we can do. You just can't pass it away like some silly fashion. Oh, it's love, and love comes eager to stay. It just won't leave you that way. Can we just talk it over, work things out? I love you so. Can we just talk it over and see what we can do? Oh, yeah. Love, 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 yeah, yeah. Can we just talk it over, work things out? I love you so. Can we just talk it over, see what we can do? You just can't pass it away like some silly fashion. Oh, it's love. I've heard some people say they've seen love move mountains. Oh, it's love. I've heard some people say they've seen love move mountains. Oh, it's love, it's love, it's love, it's love, it's love. I've heard some people say they've seen love move mountains. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Sweet Georgia, the ghosts are out, blind eyes and grinning faces under the swirling sheets of white and scarlet. Yes, I know, should be a nighttime story, should be a nightmare, but no, it's our reality. So they go over the streets and alleys under the guise of rallies, compromising everything worth fighting for. They meet nowhere of poison, the marbles bare, guns frozen, sides already chosen. The ghosts are out, but some won't run away when it seems history is here to stay. Some keep on sleeping, others dream it's safe to sleep. Some never sleep till they awaken their dreams. Sweet Georgia, sweet dreaming Georgia, we can breathe, Georgia. Yeah, you'll be on our minds. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-da-da-da. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-doo-doo. The gates are down, broken doors and disgraces. Phantoms come out creeping from their dark hiding places, and they know but turn the other way. The twisted tongues, now they've got nothing to say, so they go where bodies hit the floor, where they suffocated voices just a summer before. And we know silence heard around the world. No fist comes down like condos bleeding to be heard. But hope was sowed in soil in 10 years of sweat. Some won't remember, but we'll never forget. Some never sleep, they dream just so we can sleep. The dreams awake, the nightmare breaks, and we believe. Thank God we can believe in sweet Georgia. Sweet dream in Georgia. We can breathe, Georgia. Yeah, you'll be on. You'll be on. 'Cause it's sweet Georgia. Sweet Georgia. We can breathe, Georgia. You'll be on. Yeah, you'll be on our minds. You'll be on our minds.
I'm Jennifer Miskin Flake, and I'm the Volunteer Administrative Coordinator. And coming up next, we have Kenneth Davis, who's going to read quotes from activist Mumia Abu-Jamal, followed by Dee Brown's band, their incredible rendition of Black Man Cry.
Hello, my name is Kenneth Davis, and I serve as the Vice President for the Executive Board at the Albuquerque Center for Peace and Justice. I will be reading a selection from Writing on the Wall, Selected Prison Writings from political prisoner Mumia Abu-Jamal, who has been incarcerated since 1982. The name of the selection is entitled Court of Law or Hall of Oppression. For centuries, people of African descent have entered the courts of their oppressors. For many, and probably most, the courtrooms represented the vestibule to the gas chamber, or life imprisonment. This court today will attempt to follow such a precedent, for this court and all such courts are loath to change precedent, meaning that they wish to do nothing that will depart substantially from what has gone on before. In the past, Black men paraded before such tribunals have come shackled, manacled, chained, imprisoned with slave bracelets. Once there, they are now sure to hear lofty principles such as presumption of innocence, innocent until proven guilty, due process ad nauseum. After lofty words, however, comes the bitter truth: slavery by decree of Judge Hoovenmouth, one who is paraded before the people as an impartial innocent, one surely above passions and presumptions of the common man. In the case of Commonwealth versus Mumia Abu-Jamal, however, the judges in this city and the state's supreme so-called court have fallen below the standard. The common man is indeed far above their political chess game with the lives of men. On several occasions, court-appointed counsel A. Jackson has petitioned for bail, citing classic reasons: my roots in the community, demonstrated commitment to my community, family in the region, the status of my health following my shooting, beating, and attempted murder in Jefferson Hospital, and the testimony of several area elected officials to my reputation for honesty and peacefulness. Despite a timely application for bail, both here in Common Pleas Court and at the appellate level, both have been denied without cause. It is clear, crystal clear, why the Commonwealth fought against bail and why it wasted no time in fighting to revoke bail that was set at $250,000. It has to hamper my efforts to secure the information needed to adequately defend myself, a classic case of punishment before trial. and then trial without the adequate resources to demolish a flimsy case compiled by the Commonwealth. What is further revealed by the state's actions of the past few months is the intentional falsification of sworn police statements, a new crop of purported confessions apparently forgotten until recently. How convenient. On March 29, 1982, the state Supreme Court ruled on the petition to set or reinstate bail after holding the motion for nearly 3 months. The response? Petition denied. Period. No reasons were given, no opinions were offered. What happened to the presumption of innocence? The Commonwealth reasoned that a defendant charged with a capital crime such as first-degree murder should not be granted bail, as such a defendant may flee the jurisdiction under fear of conviction and execution. It is clear that by its actions the court has shown its biased political nature. It ruled not on the merits or demerits of a case, but on the personalities of those involved. The deceased was a Philadelphia policeman, and the accused is an outspoken activist, a MOVE supporter. Where is the presumption of innocence? On April 30th, 1980, this same Supreme Court found reason to rule differently on a case involving Devico Cabeza. Cabeza, found guilty of first-degree murder, applied for bail as an element of post-verdict motions. Common Pleas Court Judge John Geis granted bail. The state Supreme Court reversed his decision, saying in effect that if post-verdict motions were uncompleted after 4 months following the conviction, the trial judge then has discretion to set bail. Under the Pennsylvania Rules of Criminal Procedure 4010, Section A-1, the defendant shall not be released on bail upon finding of guilty of an offense which is punishable by death or life imprisonment. However, if post-verdict motions are not disposed of within a reasonable period of time thereafter, the judge may in his discretion allow bail. Bail is allowed for some persons convicted of first-degree murder, but not for others accused of the same crime? Logically, isn't a person convicted of murder more apt to flee the jurisdiction than someone accused, someone presumed innocent? To quote John Africa, "Judge, you can sit on a bench and let a person object all day, but you got the authority to overrule that objection, so it don't mean nothing, because when you see indicting examples starting, you can stop them. It is the same thing as your freedom of speech. You'll say people can speak freely until the speech begins to threaten your idea of so-called freedom. Them folks ain't free to speak. They're kicked, punched, clubbed, stomped, handcuffed, shot and jailed by the cops, and jailed again by the judges. When the so-called trial takes place, you got all kinds of things in your so-called laws you can't explain. This whole procedure is a fraud, a sham, a contradiction to everything that true law is about. You can't explain how you can say that a person can't be judged till they go to court, when at this moment, these cops are beating, jailing, judging poor folks all over the world at will. What should be clear to everyone who reads this is how the courts consistently camouflage their corruption, how they support police against the people, all under the guise of equal protection under the law. If you examine the facts of this case, how it has been handled in the courts of law, the truth will become clearer and clearer to everyone. On a move, long live John Africa, and long live Mumia Abu Jamal.
Black man, in and out of trouble. Just behind your eyes, I see what lies beneath the rubble. Rain or shine, you rise, I hear the cries of generations, wishing time would somehow start again and wash away this struggle. Man, big man, you can't be a kid. spend your life to recompense for things your daddy did. Funny they ignore your years and try to call you boy till that sentence fall. Now you're a man, your latter years destroyed. From the start they break your heart, tell you your history starts to change. The patriarch departs, where at his heart, waiting on a change. It's like the charge the teacher say you smart, your life won't go the same, things fall apart. Ain't it such a shame that you're the one to blame? I can't get over how a story ended. Sarking home, my brother Trayvon had his life upended. Was just a kid in different skin, he gets his rights defended. But now the killer's still at large and won't be apprehended. And then I see my nephew James, he looks me in my eyes. He's only 16, just the same as if he's 25. His life to me is worth whatever I can sacrifice. I'd risk my own to save the tears. His mom and mom would surely cry, but still the sum if he got slaughtered in the streets alone. The blame belonging to the shooter, somehow he would own. Guess he should have known not to be 16, black and looking grown. Walking home with headphones on, do-rag on, pants too long, talking on the phone. But I know it's rare to catch a black man cry. It's kinda hard to see a black man. I know it's hard to watch a black man cry. Black man cry. Don't hold your breath to see that black man's cry. He's much too hard to let the tears fall from his eyes. Used to be hard to make a black man cry. But here we are. Now there's a fire in the streets, guns for hire and police, brick and mortar burning down to muck and mire under feet. You're sowing and you reap, but if your retribution ain't discreet, you can wind up just another body on the concrete. Cold street, bittersweet, no rest for the weary. I ain't really lost my faith, but my outlook is dreary. Feeling like I'll take a stand, but subconscious is leery. Need the truth to find the answers, but I can't trust Siri. I need a break from stressing and microaggressions. I get mad, I'm confessing that I need to get my rest and try to wake up feeling happy and go smile for the people, making sure they feeling comfy. And tomorrow little sequel, I think about our girls, so innocent and sweet, but it can fade when they gotta learn to navigate the streets. All this pressure to be perfect and to fit into a culture that's full of vultures. Stay off the pole or have you seen me posters? Must find a way, but often scolded by the likes of Tommy Lauren and Ann Coulter. How she ever supposed to make it over? She gotta choose to lash out and speak vulgar, or push it down until it causes an ulcer. She can feel the cold world getting colder, but the heat's still on. What you thought it was gone? You thought a black press meant that racism was dead? Every time I see a black girl body slammed to the ground, it's my daughter I see grown men tossing around. Then you see a black man cry. It's kinda hard to see a black man. I know it's hard to watch a black man cry. Black man cry. Don't hold your breath to see that black man's cry. It's much too hard to let the tears fall from his eyes. Used to be hard to make a black man cry. But here we are. Here we are.
The Albuquerque Center for Peace and Justice has been serving the communities of Albuquerque for nearly 40 years. Peace and justice are the motivators for the work we do, in concert with dozens of other organizations and committees here and around the country. Whether the issue is nuclear weapons, or police brutality and murders, or homelessness and hunger, or even climate justice, immigration, and prisons, the center continues to stand shoulder to shoulder with community organizations dedicated to doing the good work, the necessary work. But we can't do it without your help. COVID didn't take a break, and we didn't either. And the financial cost of being strong advocates and providing assistance have not diminished. You can help us by becoming a member of the Peace and Justice Center for $40, or simply make a donation. You can also stop by the center and maybe purchase one of our popular yard signs to let your neighbors know where you stand on important social justice matters. We need you. Get in touch at www.abqpeaceandjustice.org or call us at 505-268-9557. Thank you for your support, and thank you for standing up for peace and justice.
I'm Nancy Henderson, volunteer for the Albuquerque Center for Peace and Justice, and I would like to introduce Manny Gonzalez. He is an Albuquerque poet.
I'm going to tell you guys a story, and this is just a story about something that happened when I go down to the river. I like to go down there and I read my book, and one day it got windy, and I wrote a poem about it. So it's kind of like a story, but it's a poem. It's time to begin. It's time to begin the story of the poet and the wind. Now, the poet went to the river one day to sit and talk to the river and pray. The trees were happy to see him with their leaves red, brown, and gold, because fall was falling fast and things were beginning to get cold. So the poet gave respect to the river, respect to the sky, and respect to the earth, the four directions and inner reflections as to why he was given his birth. When all of a sudden the poet heard leaves rustling, and he knew that it must have been the wind, and he knew that the wind always blew right through him. So he packed up his things to go home. Now the wind was from the north, powerful and strong, and the breeze made the trees howl and sing the wind's song. So the poet started stepping, but the wind gave chase, and it kicked up dust and right up into the poet's face. And the poet, he wasn't going to stand for this disgrace. So the poet did the craziest thing you'd ever see. The poet battled the wind with poetry, and the wind got crazy and it started to gust. And the poet raised his head and he started to bust about Earth's pollution and mind evolution and how you can kill the revolutionary, but you can't kill the revolution. And just when it looked like the poet was winning, the wind began to gather and it started spinning, and it knocked that poet blind, because the wind is a warrior just as old as time. Came at that poet so hard that it blew the poet's mind. So he started reaching for metaphor, searching for simile, digging deep inside himself for the capability of seeing beauty in everything. And his heart began bursting and blooming, and he spoke of love and life and his emotions inside. But then the wind came at him like an ocean tide, and it knocked that poet right off of his feet. But that poet, he wasn't that easily beat. He got right back up and started his expression, making each and every word a personal confession. The poet tried to find all the prose he could muster, but the wind was blowing hard and it started to bluster, and the clouds came to help him and they darkened the sky. But the poet kept speaking and he let his spirit fly, and he pummeled the wind with prose. But the warrior wind, it got stronger and rose. It came at him from the front, it came at him from the rear. It threw the poet, rocked the poet, knocked the poet, tossed the poet. But it tasted the poet's tears. So the poet cried out for justice, and he called upon his ancestors. He used every poetic technique he could remember, defining his culture and finding his consciousness. He let those words flow till he was out of breath. He had nothing left. But then he realized something, and he didn't know what to do, because he saw that the wind had died down too. See, neither of them was stronger than the other. Both of them warriors. Both of them brothers. They had stood eye to eye, toe to toe. But they no longer look at the other as a foe. And that's where the story must end. Both having respect for their newfound friend. The wondrous tale of the poet and the wind. Thank you.
Music by the absolutely fabulous Chloe Nixon.
And I can't breathe now. I can't breathe now. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. Mama says keep your hands up. Daddy says hood down, pants up. should be fine if you obey. I just wanna see you every day, but this is far more cruel. There is nothing we can do. Submission isn't danger-proof in a system that wasn't made for you. 911, please help me. 911, protect me. 911, I'm shaking. 911, I'm breaking. 911, I'm dying. 911, I'm crying. 911, come fight for me. But 911 is right in front of me. And I can't breathe, no. I can't breathe, no. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. We can't breathe. We're on our knees. We can't breathe. We're on our knees. We can't breathe. On our knees. We can't keep living in fear. The bigger picture is clear. So turn off the TV and let's love each other. The news and the radio, they wanna keep us high below. We are stronger than we know. We overcome together, creating love together. Creating love together. Thank you guys.
Hi, my name is Mary Bleck and I'm a Peace Center volunteer. And now you're going to be listening to Darnell Harvey playing Love is a Battlefield. And after that, there will be the Medicine Drum Circle. And thank you so much for joining us, and we hope you will contribute. Thank you.
We are young, heartache to heartache we stand. No promises, no demands. Love is a battlefield. We are strong, no one can tell us we're wrong. Searching our hearts for so long, both of us knowing love is a battlefield. You're begging me to go, then making me stay. Why do you hurt me so bad? It would help me to know, do I stand in your way? Or am I the best thing that you've had? Believe me, I can't tell you why, but I'm trapped by your love, and I'm chained to your side. We are young, heartache to heartache we stand. No promises, no demand. Love is a battlefield. We're strong, no one can tell us we're wrong. Searching our hearts for so long, both of us knowing
losing control? Will you turn me away or touch me deep inside? And when all this gets old, will it still feel the same? There's no way this will die. But if we get much closer, I could lose control. And if your heart surrenders, I'll need me to hold. We are young, heartache to heartache we stand. No promises, no demands. Love is a battlefield. We are strong. No one can tell us we're wrong. Searching our hearts for so long. Both of us knowing love is a battlefield. We are young, heartache to heartache we stand. No promises, no demands. Love is a battlefield. We're strong. No one can tell us we're wrong. Searching our heart for some love. Both of us knowing love is a battlefield.
Thanks, Jim. Back in the late 80s and early 90s, I canvassed for about 5 years all around the state on environmental issues. A lot of times we canvassed up in Los Alamos and made a lot of money because these well-educated people up there, not in addition to making weapons of mass destruction, felt very guilty about the environment and other things. So this is kind of a nuclear waste tour of New Mexico. It's called New Mexico Remembers the 40s. On a high canyon-cracked mesa at the tail end of the Rockies, surrounded by mountains and the Culandera, the lush bowl, that stunning, beyond fertile remnant of 6 super sunken volcanoes, sits a city invented in Washington, D.C. On a vast desert alkali plain, cut southwest by the San Andres, watched and mourned by Salinas Peak, is a marker where the first one went off. Stopped at a traffic light at Oppenheimer and Trinity, in the middle of the high-tech federal weirdness of the town of Los Alamos National Laboratories. We're the most brilliant people in the world. Bring all your problems to us. So, you have environmental specialists and dozens of Caltech MIT grads. Well, what exactly happens beyond your houses at those abrupt dead ends that form into strange, deep black hole arroyos, casting sickish green glows in the night? And just who are those cancerous old melting people who answer the door and disappear when I ring? I swore I saw spacemen in silver hazmat suits far below at the Rio Grande, pouring some kind of liquid from metal containers into the water. But what do I know? You're the experts. So I'll gladly be leaving now. You've got more than enough on your hands with your radio telescopes, all that global lamps, military tactics, plotting, lasers, computers, ashes from Japan. And all that nuclear waste you generate that's now rolling down in troop packs down I-25, joining Sandia Labs, Idaho, and Rocky Flats, through Santa Fe, all safe as it trucks down through my hometown, down to that huge hole in the ground. Kirtland, NORAD, and SAC might protect you and your families as you smile and tour our great state. But just make sure as you visit that little marker, just make sure as you do, remember to visit that little marker that stands between you and the whip.
We represent all the directions here, and we do our prayer representing all of the races here on our Mother Earth. And we give thanks to our grandparents, and we're going to sing a sacred song that comes from the Cherokee. That comes from the native tradition is a testament to survival. This is the heartbeat of Mother Earth. This is what our prayer is. Our prayer for the water, our prayer for the mountains, for all the animals that live here. Let's say out our prayers.
Healing for all beings, creatures, plants, animals. Pray for harvest. Relief of suffering.
My prayer is heal the church.
Cleansing and healing. Healing for all. Healing for renewal. Clean water for all. Respect for all life. Understanding. For all life. Regeneration. Justice. Peace. Clean water. For our children. Life. Love.
Healing of Mother Earth.
We give thanks for this river, for these trees, and our prayers for all our relatives all around the planet. We give thanks for this heartbeat. And this prayer goes out into